Archaeologists have honored the remains of a slave room at a Roman villa in Pompeii, Italy. The room, containing 3 beds and 1 window, was excavated in a villa buried by the 79 AD eruption in the ancient city. Forget dusty pharaohs and forgotten pyramids in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia. A legend is rising from the desert sands. For millennia, the epic poem of Gilgamesh, a tale of gods, monsters, and a pursuit of immortality, has been relegated to myth. But what if the legend was more than just a story? The only clues lay in fragmented clay tablets, weathered and worn, their cuneiform script whispering secrets in a forgotten language. Then a discovery unlike any other shattered the silence deep beneath the ancient city of Uruk, where the legend of Gilgamesh first took root. A team of archaeologists unearthed a tomb, not just any tomb, but one that sent shockwaves through the academic world. Let's look into the thrilling discovery of a tomb that whispers secrets of a king named Gilgamesh, blurring the lines between myth and reality. From tyrant to hero, Gilgamesh and the conquest of the cedar forest. Have you ever heard the epic tale of Gilgamesh? It's a story that goes way back to the heart of ancient Mesopotamia. It's about a king named Gilgamesh who started out as a tyrant, even taking control of newlywed brides. The gods weren't impressed with Gilgamesh's antics, so they decided to create a wild man named Enkidu, someone strong enough to stand up to Gilgamesh. You might expect a big brawl, but instead of fighting, Gilgamesh and Enkidu became the best of friends. Enkidu learned the ways of civilization, and together they formed an unbreakable bond. Friendship like that calls for an adventure, so off they went on a grand quest that would change everything. Their first target was the cedar forest. This wasn't just any ordinary forest, it was guarded by a fearsome demigod named Humbaba, a creature so terrifying that even the bravest warriors shivered at the thought. The forest was also home to precious cedar trees, a valuable treasure in ancient Mesopotamia. Despite warnings about Humbaba's immense power and the danger of entering the sacred forest, Gilgamesh, fueled by his thirst for fame and glory, wouldn't be deterred. He and Enkidu, with Gilgamesh's incredible strength and unwavering determination, set out to face the monstrous guardian. With a little divine help from the sun god Shamash, they prepared for an epic battle. The clash between Gilgamesh and Enkidu against Humbaba was a sight to behold. It shook both the mortal world and the heavens above, and against all odds, Gilgamesh emerged victorious, slaying the guardian and solidifying his reputation as a legendary warrior. This victory wasn't just about physical strength, it showcased Gilgamesh's courage in the face of seemingly impossible odds. But this is just the beginning. It's not just their strength that will be tested, but also their friendship, mental toughness, and the very core of who they are. Here comes the interesting part. Gilgamesh crosses paths with Ishtar, a powerful goddess who embodies love, beauty, fertility, and even war. She's completely smitten with Gilgamesh and makes him an offer that could change everything, a chance to become her husband. On the surface, this sounds like an amazing opportunity. Power, wealth, the favor of a goddess, what's not to love? But Gilgamesh, the strong, independent king of Uruk, rejects Ishtar's advances. He shows incredible willpower, refusing to be swayed by her divine charms. Gilgamesh's rejection of Ishtar wasn't just a simple no thanks. It was a declaration of independence, a statement that he wouldn't be bossed around by anyone, not even a goddess. He wasn't shy about reminding Ishtar how things ended for her past lovers either. This bold move adds even more depth to Gilgamesh's character. He's a leader who's not afraid to stand up to the divine, which sets the stage for some serious philosophical discussions within the epic. Ishtar, used to everyone worshipping the ground she walks on, was furious. The goddess of love and war felt humiliated and disrespected. To get revenge, she unleashed the bull of heaven on Uruk. This wasn't your average farm animal. It was a gigantic, destructive beast designed to wreak havoc on the city. But Gilgamesh and his trusty sidekick Enkidu weren't about to let some angry goddess ruin their day. They joined forces and, in an impressive display of teamwork, managed to slay the bull of heaven. This victory solidified their status as legendary heroes, but it also came at a cost. Messing with a celestial bull apparently isn't the best way to stay in the god's good graces. The balance of the universe got thrown out of whack, and there were consequences that went way beyond just this one fight. Gilgamesh's rejection of Ishtar, which might seem like a single act of defiance, actually set off a chain reaction that would change everything for him and Enkidu. This whole saga of defying divine advances becomes a major turning point in the story. It opens the door to exploring some big ideas that everyone can relate to, like how short life is for us humans, how the gods meddling in our affairs can have a big impact, and how the choices we make can have far-reaching consequences. The Epic of Gilgamesh is about to go into some serious stuff: defiance and destiny, the quest for immortality. Gilgamesh's rejection of Ishtar wasn't just him being stubborn. He stood his ground not just as a powerful king but as a symbol of human strength and independence. He refused to be a pawn in the gods' games, and this sets the stage for the rest of his epic journey. It's all about him fighting for control over his own destiny. The echoes of his defiance are still ringing through the story, and now we're about to look at the complex relationship between gods and mortals, and how much free will we really have. It sparked a journey to answer some of humanity's most fundamental questions. What is our place in the universe? Are we just at the mercy of fate, or do we have some control over our lives? This whole episode with Ishtar becomes another important piece of the epic puzzle. Speaking of puzzles, Gilgamesh isn't done yet. He's absolutely terrified of death, especially after losing his dear friend Enkidu, so he sets out on an incredible quest, a search for immortality that will push him to his limits. Gilgamesh, the mighty king, is determined to cheat death itself. He's on a mission to find Utnapishtim, a king who somehow managed to gain immortality after surviving a huge flood, a story that sounds suspiciously similar to the biblical tale of Noah. The journey to find Utnapishtim is epic in itself. Gilgamesh has to cross massive mountains, face scary scorpion people, and even navigate the dangerous waters of death. Every challenge he overcomes shows his incredible spirit and his refusal to just accept his fate. When he finally reaches Utnapishtim, reality hits hard. This wise immortal breaks the news to Gilgamesh: immortality is just not for humans. Utnapishtim even tells his own story about the flood, how the gods decided to wipe humanity out, and how he, by pure luck, got to live forever. Not exactly the news Gilgamesh was hoping for. Utnapishtim does offer a glimmer of hope though. He proposes a test that might unlock the secret to immortality. If Gilgamesh can stay awake for 7 whole days, he might get the knowledge he craves. Spoiler alert: Gilgamesh fails. This just goes to show that even with his godly strength, there are some things he just can't control, like the natural order of things and the will of the gods. Gilgamesh's quest for immortality hit a bit of a snag. He didn't quite find the magic potion he was looking for, but there's always a silver lining, right? Utnapishtim did offer him a little consolation prize, a plant that could restore youth. Seeing this as a win for his people back in Uruk, Gilgamesh took the plant and headed home. Unfortunately, fate had a different plan. On his way back, a sneaky serpent snuck in and stole the plant. Despite the setback, Gilgamesh didn't return to Uruk empty-handed. He may not have had the elixir of immortality, but he was definitely a wiser king. The whole journey transformed him. He was still incredibly strong, maybe even more so than before, and his determination in the face of challenges was unmatched. This journey cemented his legacy as a legendary figure who would be remembered for centuries to come. Fast forward a few centuries, and the Epic of Gilgamesh becomes a hot topic for researchers and historians. They're obsessed with these ancient tablets, trying to figure out if Gilgamesh was just a myth or the real deal. The big breakthrough came in the 19th century, thanks to a man named Austen Henry Layard. During some epic excavations in Nineveh, he stumbled upon some amazing things. Not only did he uncover evidence of a grand Assyrian civilization, but he also found a treasure trove of artifacts and inscriptions that pointed to a rich literary culture. One of his most incredible discoveries was the library of Ashurbanipal, the last king of the Assyrian Empire. These libraries held cuneiform tablets that had been chilling for thousands of years. They were basically the key to understanding Assyrian culture, including their religion, laws, and of course, their literature. It unearthed a mountain of knowledge. But it was an archaeologist named Hormuzd Rassam who hit the real jackpot. He discovered tablets that contained the most complete version of the Epic of Gilgamesh. These ancient pieces of clay turned out to be pure gold. They revealed not only the story of Gilgamesh, but also the rich tapestry of Mesopotamian mythology and epic traditions. The story, with its adventures, monsters, and profound philosophical questions, was more than just an ancient tale. It was a bridge to a long-lost world, a place where gods walked among men and heroes dared to defy their fate. Weaving through the shadows of ancient tales and modern discoveries, the figure of Gilgamesh emerges not merely as a legend, but as a tantalizing enigma. His story, stretching from Mesopotamian clay tablets to contemporary archaeological digs, invites us to ponder the blurry line between myth and reality. Whether he was a historical king or an immortalized hero, Gilgamesh's epic continues to resonate, a testament to humanity's timeless quest for meaning, courage, and understanding in the face of our own mortality.